In this video, we're going to work with creation of a table in Google Docs. Tables are a great way to convey, show, display information. It involves using columns and rows. Columns go vertical, rows are horizontal. So the first thing you would want to do is name your document if it's not already named. If you're creating something through a classroom lesson, you will typically get a copy of it. So we will name this one. Then we have to actually create the table. So we'll go to Insert, Table. It gives you a grid. Notice as you select the squares, the numbers change. We're going to work with a 3 by 3. You can always change how many columns or rows are in a table later. You can add, you can take away. We're going to start with a 3 by 3. A lot of times you would have column titles in the first row. Depends on what type of work somebody is asking you to do. So for this one, I have my first column title, the article link. Second column title, what I learned. Third column title, more to explore, could be your thoughts, whatever. A lot of times when you see tables, they will have bullets to keep the information short, because usually it's just a snapshot, short piece of information. Notice when you hover your mouse around the icons on the toolbar, it tells you what it does. I'm going to come over here to my bullets. You have numbered bullets. You notice there's a down arrow, which means you have choices. You also have something called bulleted list. Personally, that's the style I like to go with. I'm going to choose it, use the down arrow and choose one. And that will be my bullet style for there. Now, a lot of times in tables, we're sharing them quick and you want people to pay attention to the information quickly. And we're working and learning in a society where things are very quick. So if you dress your table up a little bit, think about Web 2.0 visual skills, how something looks, because we're always on screens and devices. Tables are a great way for you to really hone in information so people just pay attention to the information on the table. You can highlight the whole table and get to icons that will help you with those Web 2.0 visual skills. You have to think about contrast colors, what works, and things like that. So over here, again, these are icons. When you hover your mouse around them, they tell you what they do. Border dash is a line style, and because we have the entire table highlighted, it's going to add that border dash or line style to the entire table. I'm going to go with this dash. Here is border width. And choose 3 points. That's the thickness of it. You can always change it later. Border color. I'm going to go here. Notice you have the paint bucket if you want to put in your background color, but you also have to think about the fact that your text will need to be seen. So right now I have a table with 3 columns. Columns go vertical and 3 rows. I have a border dash around the whole table, including the inside. It has a border width of 3, and the color I chose is a royal blue, and I kept the background white. And I like the textile, the color, to be black for right now. Now, if I wanted to add or edit this table, add a column, add a row, things like that, I can do that. Depends on what device you're on, what keys you use. I'm on a device where I'd use Control-Click. If you were on an iMac with the keyboards that we have in the computer lab, it would be the Command key or the Apple key if it's a raised keyboard. If you're on your Chromebook, then it's the Command key for that, which would be the Control key. I'm going to do Control-Click, and notice I get this drop down. In this area, notice I have Insert Row above, below, Insert Column left or right. So depending on where your cursor is positioned is how your table will be affected. I also have Delete Row, Delete Column, Delete Table. So I'm going to add a row above. And my text cursor is here. So I'm going to add a row above this row. I do Control-Click, Insert Row above, and now I have another one. So if as you're working or your information changes or as you update a table, you can add or delete columns and rows. You don't have to start again. If I want to come over here and add a column, so come to my last column and add a column, I can do Control-Click, and I'm going to add a column to the right. And I have a 4th column here now.